Hello, welcome to this very gentle chair yoga class for seniors. In this practice, we do breath work, movement, and relaxation. It's designed to help bring some more energy into your body, to help fluids flow more freely in your body, and to lubricate joints, to help relieve pain or discomfort. I hope you enjoy the practice, and if you do, I hope you'll hit the like button below or consider subscribing so that you know when I post new videos and you can be alerted that they've been posted. So let's get started. So we can do this practice in a chair, preferably without any arms, but if you have arms on the chair, it's okay. You want your knees and your hips to be close to the same height. So if you find that your knees are below your hips, you might put some books or blocks underneath your feet to lift your knees up so that they're in line with your hips. And if your hips are lower and your knees are up here, you might sit on a rolled blanket so that you can bring your hips up to the height of your knees. So you want to be in a nice kind of a 90-degree angle with your body. We start the practice by doing some breath work. We take 10 nice, slow, and mindful breaths. And you can do this with your eyes open or your eyes closed. I find it useful to have hands on belly so that you can notice the movement of the belly as you breathe in and out. So close your eyes if you're comfortable, keep them open. If you're not, gaze gently down towards your lap. And as you breathe in, you might notice the hands behind the hands, the belly moving out towards your palms. And as you breathe out, the belly retreating back towards the spine. And if you don't find that to be the case when you begin, see if you can allow it to transition to that. Oftentimes we breathe opposite of that. We breathe in and we suck our belly in, we breathe out and we push our belly forward. But that's really a habit that we create over time, especially if we're under stress. So the way the body is designed to breathe is to breathe in and let the belly expand, and breathe out and let the belly contract. And it might take a little time if you've been breathing in that opposite way to kind of get the gist of it, but be patient with yourself. Breathing in, the belly gently expands out towards the hands, and breathing out, the belly retreats back towards the spine. So let's take 8 more of those breaths at your own pace. There's no rush here, but allowing your attention to be on your belly here, right behind your hands. And take 3 more breaths now. And one last one, breathing in, letting the belly expand without forcing. And breathing out, letting the belly contract, no force. From here, we'll do some even bigger breaths called sun breaths. So bring your arms down by your sides, let the palms face in towards your body. As you inhale, bring your arms out to the side and up overhead, as high as they'll go. If they don't go all the way up, if your shoulders are tight, that's okay. Go as high as you can. Exhale, let the hands turn outward and let the hands come back by your sides. That's 1. We're going to do 4 of these sun breaths. So inhale, Really breathing in, stretching through the side ribs, pressing the palms together if they are able to meet overhead, and And bringing those hands back down. 2 more, filling up. And letting it out. And the last one, filling up. And then letting it go. Great. So our next move is going to be to open up the side ribs. Stretch those little muscles between our ribs called intercostal muscles. And when we let those ribs expand and those muscles kind of relax and open up, we allow more space for our lungs to expand, so we get even more oxygen into the system. So take your left hand to the seat of your chair, and your right hand can either come to your shoulder, it can come to the top of your head, or if your shoulder allows, you can reach up towards the ceiling. Take a nice breath in, and as you exhale, lean over to your left. So if you're reaching with your hand, just a nice stretch through the right side of your body. Maybe the hand is on your head, but you'll feel this opening through the ribs on your right side. Take nice big breaths there. And one more. And then come back up, and we'll switch sides. So the right hand holds the chair, the left hand, palm is up. So maybe the palm comes to your shoulder, the top of your head, or it reaches towards the ceiling. Nice stretch through the left side this time. Breathe in, and exhale, lean over to your right. You're reaching and stretching through that left side. Take 2 big breaths. And then on an inhale, come back up and bring your hands back to your lap. Take a nice breath in and shrug your shoulders up, and on your exhale, let it go. 2 more of those. Inhale, shrug up. Exhale, sigh it out. Last one, inhale. And let it go. Let's do a little bit of shoulder rolling. So take your shoulders up towards your ears and then back towards the back of the chair. Bring them up towards your ears and roll them forward. So we're doing little half circles, the top of a circle, up, around and down, and up, and over and down. So those little half circles. Let's do 3 more. Up and over, up and back, up and over, and up and back. And the last one, up and over, and up and back. Great. Hands rest on your lap. We're going to do the bottom part of that circle. So we're going to bring our shoulders forward, down, around and up, and then down, forward and up. Down, back and up, and down, forward and up. Let's do 2 more. Down, back and up, and down, forward and up. And rest your hands. So now we're going to do complete circles, and that's getting into our shoulders as well as our back. So let's start by coming up and back and down, forward and up, and over the top. So we're doing backwards rolls of our shoulders, up and back, down and forward, up and back and down and forward. 2 more, up and back, down and forward. Last one, and back, down and forward. So let's see if we can reverse that, making forward rolling circles. So we'll start coming up and forward and down and back and up, over the top and down and back and up, over the top and down and back. 2 more, up, over the top and down and back. Last one, and back. Let's shrug up on our inhale, sigh it out on our exhale, and let's do that again. out. Nice. So you might feel a little warming in the shoulders or the back. We're going to work now into our neck. So take a nice breath in, and as you exhale, nod your chin. Relax your shoulders away from your ears. So don't let your shoulders come up as you tip your head forward. And then on an inhale, let your chin lift, but don't strain the back of your neck. You're not going to throw your head back. You're kind of lifting it up and pressing the back of the skull back and then down. So it's not a huge movement. Getting a little stretch in the back of the neck as we go up and down. The shoulders, again, stay nice and relaxed. And you're just letting the head move up and down. And one more up. And one more down. Bring the chin to neutral, which means your chin is parallel to the floor. Take a nice breath in, and as you exhale, let your head tilt over to the left. And then take that left hand and bring it to rest very lightly on the right side of your head. You're not pulling on your head here, you're just resting your hand there. And then take your right arm diagonally out to the side. The palm is down to start. And then we're simply going to roll the palm up and then roll it back down. And roll it up and roll it down. And then up and then down. With the palm still facing down and the arm reaching out, take your chin and turn it down towards the floor. So you'll feel a different stretch in the neck and the shoulder here. And just breathe into that. Nice breaths in and nice breaths out. Turn your head once again to face forward, and then gently press your head back up. Bring that right hand back to your lap. Bring your left hand back to your lap. And we'll do the other side. So a nice breath in, and on an exhale, tilt the head to the right. This time the right arm, palm up, comes up, and the palm rests on the left side of the head. And then the left arm reaches out, palm down. And then just begin to roll the shoulder. So you might imagine this rolling happening right from the shoulder socket. So the upper arm bone is turning in that shoulder socket. One more up and one more down. And then bring that left hand to your lap. Take the right hand to the other side of the head and press your head up. Both hands on your lap. Going to do a shrug again. Inhale up. Exhale, sigh it out. Nice. We've done the shoulders and the neck. Let's do some minor little twisting. They're not big twists. We're not going to force ourselves into a twist. We're going to take our arms up like cactus. And take a nice breath in, and as you exhale, rotate ever so slightly to the left. Come back to center and rotate ever so slightly to the right. So you're using the muscles that wrap your ribs to make this rotation. It is not a big one. So we're working the little muscles deep inside the abdominal area as we move from side to side. If your arms or hands get tired, you can take your hands to your shoulders. If you want to work the upper arm muscles, you can stay in cactus. You might bring the gaze to look in the opposite direction of the twist. And one more on each side. And coming back to center and bringing your hands down. One more shrug. Inhale and exhale. So we'll move down into our core and into our hips, and we're going to do upper body rotations. So you might like to bring your arms out in front of you, interlace your fingers. You might imagine that you're holding a big soup spoon and there's a big cauldron in front of you, and you're just going to start stirring that soup whatever potion might be in the cauldron. And you can let the circles get larger and larger depending upon how you're feeling, or you can keep them nice and small. Drawing your navel in towards your spine to engage your core. And we're moving in a way that's getting right down into these hip joints here. Notice what direction you started stirring the pot, and then reverse direction. And then ultimately coming to stillness. So you're sitting nice and tall, relax your arms. And we'll start working down into the legs. So I'm moving a little forward in my chin, excuse me, because we're going to bring a little aerobic effort into our practice here. We're going to working on our legs and our core, at the same time getting our heart rate up just a little bit. So we're going to, without using our arms, we're just going to march. So we're going to lift and march and march. So we're going to march for about 30 seconds. I'm watching the clock. So bring your leg as high as you comfortably can. It's important to keep your core engaged and your back nice and tall. So we have 5 more seconds here. Great. And then bring everything down. So we're going to up it a little bit by adding some arms. And if the legs were enough for you, got your heart rate up a little bit, just do your legs again. But if you want to get a little more of that aerobic effect, we'll use opposite arms. So let's start with the left leg, right arm. So we're going to go up and down. Again, for about 30 seconds. So I'm watching the clock. So just think about opposite arm movement, opposite to the leg. And keep breathing. You don't want to be holding your breath when you're doing this. One more on each side. Great. And then you can scoot yourself back into your chair. We're going to do what we call seated sun salutation. So this really begins to use all the big muscles in the body, and it will also get your heart rate up a little. And if you find that you need to take a break and just kind of sit there and watch, go ahead and do that. Catch your breath and come back to it. We're going to do 3 rounds. So we start in a seated mountain posture with our shoulders over our hips, our head centered right on top of our spine. Arms are down by our sides. On an inhale, the arms turn up. Maybe you reach all the way overhead or go as high as you can, and as you exhale, come to cactus arms. On an inhale, take a little lean forward. It's not big, just a little lean. You're drawing your navel into your spine. On your exhale, bring your hands to your thighs. Fold forward, bring your hands to your knees, and you might decide to stay right here. But if you feel comfortable going down further, you can let your hands glide to your ankles, and you can let your head turn down. On an inhale, straighten your arms if you're folded all the way, or reach your heart forward if your hands are still on your knees. Exhale, fold back down. And on an inhale, if your hands are on your thighs, press yourself up to a seated position. If you want to use your core a little more and you're folded all the way, bring your arms out to the side and come all the way up. So always modifying in ways that suit your situation. So if I'm asking you to do something that doesn't feel right, isn't quite right for you, don't do it. Just do some modification of it. Arms down by your side. We're going to do 2 more rounds of that seated sun salutation. So inhale the arms up overhead and exhale into cactus. On an inhale, lean forward, and on your exhale, hands glide to the knees. Maybe they stay there and the heart reaches forward, or maybe you go all the way down. If you're all the way down, straighten your arms and reach your heart forward, and then fold back down. On your inhale, find your own way back up, either pressing onto the thighs or reversing your swan dive, coming all the way back up and back to seated mountain. We'll do one more round. Inhale, arms reach. Exhale into cactus. Inhale, lean, and exhale, glide to the position that's right for you. On an inhale, find length, and on your exhale, fold back down. On your inhale, bring yourself all the way back up, and then bring your hands to your heart. We're going to pause here. Close your eyes and just notice any warming of the body, speeding up of the heart rate, maybe a different flow of energy through the body. So when we move our body parts, we encourage the flow of all the fluids that are so key to our health, our synovial fluids into our joints, our lymph fluids that help cleanse toxins from our body, our blood, which helps to feed and oxygenate all of our body parts. So movement encourages the flow of all those fluids. So from here, we're going to move into our resting posture. So you can stay in your chair, maybe scooch forward and extend your legs, let your hands rest on your lap, let your chin drop towards your chest. Just find a nice comfortable position. You could put a pillow behind your back. And if you are able to get up out of your chair and lay on a couch or get down to the floor, if you know you can do that safely and get up safely, do that. Because we are moving into that final posture of Shavasana. That posture being the posture that helps us to relax and allow the body to digest all of the benefits of the movements that we've just provided it. So eyes closed, take a nice breath in through your nose, and the side out through your mouth. And I'll walk you through a body scan. So as I mention a body part, just bring your awareness there. Starting with the scalp and the crown of the head, and the back of the head and the base of the skull, the forehead and the temples. Can you relax all the little facial muscles in your face so that there's no expression in your face at all? Allow your lower jaw to relax and hang freely from your upper jaw, and your tongue to relax to fill the lower jaw. Relaxing the back of the neck and the tops of the shoulders. Relaxing the upper arms and forearms and wrists and hands and fingers. Relaxing the lungs and the heart and the diaphragm. The low back and buttocks and the abdomen and low belly. Allowing the legs to relax from the hips to the knees and the thighs, quadriceps on top, hamstrings on the bottom. Relaxing the kneecaps and the shins and calves and ankles. Relaxing the tops of the feet and the toes. The soles of the feet, the arches, and the heels. Resting in this sense of relaxation, this sense of presence connected to the body. And if your mind starts to wander, just invite it back to this sense of presence in the body through the beating of your heart or the vibration of sounds around you. And allow yourself to rest here for as long as you like. There is no hurry to move out of this resting posture. But when you are ready, you might begin by taking a nice full body stretch. And a big breath in. And then bringing your hands to your heart as you exhale. Until next time, namaste.